Hello, I'm William Gregory, and the title of my talk today is A Return to Innocence. And I'm going to be calling upon a scripture from Matthew, the 18th chapter. And this is somewhat of an innocuous scripture. However, the meaning of this has come to be profound in my life. Something that wipes away all the static, all the doubt, all the uncertainty, and helps me cut to the truth of a moment, cut to the truth of myself, helps me negotiate this life in a way that simplifies things. And sometimes the simplest things can be the most profound. I'm going to read this scripture for you now. And I'm in Matthew 18, and I'm going to pick up on the second verse. So please follow me. So calling a young child to him, he set it in their midst and said, "Truly I say to you, unless you turn around and become like young children, you will by no means enter into the kingdom of the heavens." I find this interesting. To put this in context, I'll read the first part of the first verse. In that hour the disciples came near Jesus and said, "Who really is the greatest in the kingdom of the heavens?" I recall reading the scripture when I was a child and thinking, my God, how dumb can the apostles be? They've been walking with the Christ and seeing the Christ and experiencing the humility of the Christ. How could they at this point argue over who the greatest is? And as an adult, I think about this. It is so easy to forget this and start to compare ourselves with others. It's so easy to forget this and realize that we're all little children in the eyes of God. It makes me think of the idea of innocence. He brought a child in front of him, a representation of innocence. And we have this concept that innocence is something fragile, that we lose our innocence when we have sex. We lose our innocence when we transgress or sin. We lose our innocence when we do something wrong, as though our innocence was something so fragile. But in fact, he's telling them to come back to their innocence unless they change their ways and become like little children again. In many ways, it's the same thing for us. How can we turn around from these worldly ideas or chaoses and remember that our innocence is eternal? Our innocence is kept forever for us in the mind of God. There's a tenet that I have that's made a huge difference in my life, and it's akin to innocence. It's the concept of humility. I remember I once associated humility with to be humiliated, to be defeated, to be somehow small and helpless. However, my whole concept on humility has changed. I now see humility as a great power. It's like a ninja Jedi superpower. With the concept of humility, I no longer have to compare myself with others. Think about that for a moment. If I'm humble, I'm just me. I'm set free from trying to be better than anyone else. I'm set free from feeling less than because someone is better than me. With humility, I can walk into any room, any group, any situation, and be the best version of myself and give that away without ever once feeling that it might not be good enough, that it might not be approved of. With humility, I can set free anyone's perspective of anything and see it for myself. But something else too, with humility, with innocence. With innocence, I can look upon someone else and see their truth. I can see beyond facades, see beyond illusions, see beyond moments of someone's anger or fear or stress or anxiety, and see the truth within them. Jesus called us to return to our innocence, to find the kingdom of heaven. Remember, our innocence is indestructible. Our innocence is eternal. It's held in the mind of God. When we can let go of these worldly perspectives, perceptions of what's right and what's wrong, of what's popular or what's not popular, what's currently socially acceptable, when we can let go of the noise of this world and come into ourselves and find our own innocence, it sets us free from all these things. and we can find our truth again, which is eternal, we're set free from all the perceptions of this world, and we may become of benefit, of use, of service to our fellows. And so it is.